guys? Are you ready? Before you start, guys, so it's a clear reminder for everyone that before you choose a topic, guys, you have to consider every aspect of that topic. First thing and foremost, never choose a topic that is sensitive. Okay? At least think of the effects first before you choose that as your topic. Okay? Are you ready? Okay, you have 8 minutes with guys.
Good afternoon, everyone, especially your panelists. I'm Cortez.
I'm Basilisco.
I'm Julio. I'm Tagana. I'm Canarias. I'm Gapupo.
I'm Custodio. And I'm the face.
And today we will gonna discuss about the causes of street vending and the challenges they face in Metro Manila, Philippines. We all know that street vending in Metro Manila is one of the significant social issues that reflecting poverty in our country. However, street vendors provide affordable food and daily necessity in public areas. Some of them work without permits, which can lead to harassment, confiscation of items, and devaluation. Despite these challenges, they remain resilient. They use creative strategies to survive and to support their daily necessities. Their presence not only offers convenience to the public, but also reflects the struggles and determination of ordinary Filipinos trying to earn for their needs.
And now to further emphasize with our street vendors, we researched on two experiences who is coincidentally both victims of Mayor Moreno's street cleanup policy, where he cleared the city's main roads in order to make a way for pedestrians and cars that occurred on June 3rd. Firstly is Jacqueline Alfaro, who wants to go back to her old spot after being moved to a zone that approved by the authorities. Second is Ricardo Ibanez, who sells hot drugs since he used to earn 4,000 in daily, but because of the policy, he now considered it as a good day if he even earned 1,000 pesos.
Meanwhile, there are some people who expresses their opinion about street vending. One of them is Jason Maulet, who stated that Filipinos have this perspective of street vending as their last resort whenever they face financial difficulties. And Paulo Alcazaran, a Filipino but works on Singaporean's pedestrian, who expresses his comparison that street vending in Southeast Asian capitals are considered a tourist spot that has a proper utilities. However, Manila is just associated with poverty that does not have any proper sanitation and no system for the vendors to thrive in urban centers. The mayor responded that with the 50,000 vendors, a number that does not include the licensed vendors are the reason as to why it is hard to accomplish those things. Yet, Alfora still hopes for the proper food bazaar to occur in Manila.
Now, that you're aware of the hardship of our street vendors, now we're going to tackle the causes and challenges of the street vendors. But first, the causes are the economic hardship. Causes individuals to seek alternative income sources such as street vendors. Due to rising living costs and limited job opportunities. Additionally, the high demand for affordable goods, it drives consumers to street vending. The high demand of street vending that it drives consumers to street vending for low-cost options that met essential needs during economic strain. And lastly, the lack of training expertise. Among street vendors restrict their access to formal job and limit their economic growth.
At the same time, street vendors face many challenges that affect their life. First of the challenges is government regulations. Many vendors struggle to maintain a stable income, which make it harder for them to take care of their family. Moreover, vendors also encounter the socio-economic issue. This factor make it difficult for vendors to earn enough money to buy food or other things they need every day. problem, vendors also deals with their daily survival. They also time in seed and protecting their days to provide support and daily needs. Although they face many challenges, they continue working and keep trying every day to provide support and daily needs.
Here we have a study conducted by Gemma and Solido using a questionnaire checklist with Likert scaling to gather the responses of street vendors on their common problems. In the presentation, we have a bar graph showing the results of the 4 categories that she created. Most of these categories have a moderately serious rating, while physical problems have a less serious rating. But what are these problems specifically? Let's tackle each one. For governance and legal problems, we have issues such as being not being officially sanctioned by the government, the lack of clear policies, and the lack of an office to address street vendors' needs. Next, we have socio-economic problems, and these are the lack of capital, the lack of lending institutions, and the rising costs of living. Third, we have workplace-related problems, and these are lack of running water, toilets, and solid waste disposal, and overcrowding, obstruction from other stalls, and lack of a secure place for shipment. Lastly, we have physical problems, and these are the confiscation of merchandise from police, harassment from customers, and health problems and harsh weather conditions. Street vendors face many problems day by day, but what can we do to help? What actions can we take to help improve their lives and their jobs?
In our call to action, have you ever bought lumay from street vendors? Behind every cardboard store, there's a hardworking parents or breadwinners trying to survive for every challenges in their life. Yet, they face struggles in society that can no longer ignore. What they need. Street vendors need safe places, fair permits, and government support with training, protection, and appliances they need. That they can thrive and help our economy grow. But it's not only the government's job. We as ordinary people, we can support them by buying their products, respecting them, and standing with them in every hard times. So action must be taken now by the government, communities, and each of us. So street vendors get the opportunities and recognition they deserve. Because when they rise, we all rise too. Since we are communication specialists as with the Philippines Information Agency, to communicate an important message to the people via social media, we decided to create an infographic posters with compilation with what have just reported.
Our infographic must go viral because it shows the struggles and challenges that street vendors face every day. So by sharing it, more people can understand their problems and support them. And now this is the reference we use in our presentation, and thank you for listening. And again, I'm Montano Basilisco, who research information and who discuss why our infographic must go viral.
Good job, everyone. Congratulations for a well-presented report. Okay, so yeah, every part is well-presented, detailed, and effectively delivered. Okay, so just general feedback. I'm gonna focus on your PPT, but job well done for choosing to use real-life examples and experiences of real and existing people. In research, we call that as phenomenology. Okay, so it is about presenting real-life examples of our respondents, no? In order for our audience to easily relate with our topic. No? So you share experiences and culture of people, we call it a schema. The more similarities we have in those aspects, the easier it becomes for us to relate with what we are sharing with our audience. And what's more highlighting with your presentation is your message about we can help the vendors. No? And for me, that is a very powerful message. No? And good job on not only focusing on the government's role. No? You did not exclude the role of the community. Our role as part of the community will help the vendors as well. Okay, so good job with the presentation. So let's proceed with Q&A. Let's start with Mr. Basilisco. What is your contribution?
I'm the one who researched information and think that why our infographic must go viral.
Alright, so you are the one responsible for collecting data.
Yes.
Is that data pertaining to the experiences of the vendors? What data have you discussed? Okay, can you please present to the...
Ano po ba yun?
The data that you're referring to.
Oh,
That one. Okay, so my question to you is, referring to that, actually it's a very well presented chart by the way. What do you think are the implications of those numbers in terms of the status of the Filipino people on their livelihood, specifically on street vending?
sorry, I can say.
What do you think are the implications of those numbers?
Sir, can you say the other type of implication?
What does it imply, or what does those numbers mean to how what does that mean in terms of the livelihood, the economic status of the Filipino people? Do you think the government has a part of it? Do you think the lifestyle of the Filipino people has a part of it?
Yes, because
How?
the government uses some police to eradicate or remove the street vendors to some specific place because they don't have a legal permit to sell that place.
Have you cited any particular reasons why vendors are not able to get permits?
Sorry, sir.
Were you able to determine some reasons why vendors doesn't get permits?
For me, they didn't, they lack of confidence to get a permit. They lack confidence to register and
Why? But it's not included in your chart.
yes, no.
So any particular reason that is specified on your chart? Thank you, Mr. Basilisco.
Okay. Next is Bulyo. 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 Alright. Based upon studying your presentation, there is a statement there saying that street vendors are part of the problem at the same time they are part of the solution. Kaya nga, upon studying on your presentation, there is a part there that says street vending is part of the problem and part of the solution.
Or do you think street vendors are part of the problem, or are they part of the solution?
They are part of the problem based on your, based on what?
The street vendors,
Vendors.
the street vendors themselves are part of the problem.
they are also part of the solution. Yes, Iha, can you answer the
Can
question?
you repeat the question?
Can you give me an example that street vendors are part of the problem and at the same time they are part of the solution?
Because the street vendors
Okay, thank you, Miss Julio. Kabuo po.
Julio, what is your contribution?
my contribution is to provide information and discuss the experiences po.
Experiences.
Miss Julio, what is your contribution?
The reason why infographic was fire.
Why?
Infographic was fire. The reflection.
The reflection. Okay, why must our infographic go back?
Ano po? Because many people are not paying attention of street vendors. That's why we can we can we can we can we can share the awareness of the people of our infographic by sharing it in the social media to go viral because many people many people many street vendors face many stalkers and problems that people can pay attention with it and understand that their stalker and problem by the infographic.
Okay, I don't quite get what you're trying to say, but the main focus or the main highlight of your infographic is your message about we can help the vendors. Okay, so how do your infographic help the vendors by merely looking at all your infographics?
Ano po? Can you repeat that question?
How can your infographics help the vendors?
Ano po? By sharing it po sa social media or sa in real life po.
Please.
By sharing it in social media and in real life because they can understand the struggle and problem of this vendors.
Alright, Kagata. Do you watch street food vlogs?
Yes, from like YouTubers.
Yeah, from YouTubers. So, what makes street food celebrated in other Asian countries, but in the Philippines it is seen as a problem?
In other countries, as I said before, it's a tourist spot that features their local food culture. However, our Manila is just, I'm not saying this just, but sometimes it is viewed as something dirty.
Why? Why do you think so? It's seen as a problem in our country.
Because their foods, like the things that they cook, they're sometimes like stored and would reused.
Stored and reused.
Yes.
why there are street vendors in the Philippines. And based on your findings, what is the reason why there are still a lot of street vendors in the Philippines?
Because lack of education.
Lack of education. So if I lack the education, more likely I will become street vendor.
Yes, I guess.
What is your basis for your answer? Is it included in your chart or in your research? That if someone is uneducated, he or she will most likely be a street vendor. In your own opinion, what makes you say so? Of course, opinions must be based on facts, right? So what are your bases?
Because none of the street vendor is like parang ano po, wala silang pinag-aaral.
Okay. How about the English version? That's a very heavy allegation, yes. That's kind of harsh. Not all street vendors are uneducated. Some of them are thriving, even being scholars, just to finish their courses, their programs.
It depends din ma'am.
So what is your basis? That's the question. What is your basis for your answer? Because I don't think it's included in the chart that we just presented.
Based on
It's a different thing.
Based on my research.
Based on your research, which is not indicated on that question. Thank you. Was that Miss Cortez? Sorry, Cortez pa. Siya pa rin. Siya pa lang. Ulit ko ay siya.
Okay, sige, Cortez. Cortez, what is your contribution?
I discussed the introduction and the research information about our topic.
Okay, so, from the answer of your classmate a while ago, so follow-up question about, okay, sir. So why does society often look down on vendors instead of respecting them as workers? Why does society often look down on vendors or street vendors particularly instead of respecting them as workers?
Because some people think that street vendors, some of the street vendors lack of education. So there are lack of knowledge, and many people think that street vendors, they didn't reach the level of ordinary people.
Is that based on your research or just your own opinion?
Based on my research.
Which one of the
Which one?
presentations is that?
Yeah. Did you edit your presentation? Did you edit that? So I studied your presentation last night. What's your contribution?
Okay, sige. So much for that. Okay, so if that is indeed the result of your research, we respect that and we're gonna look into that. However, why do you what do you think is the reason why the street vendors in our country often sees street vending as associated with poverty or lack of education? What can be the possible reason for that? What will be the reason why we Filipinos often see street vendors as associated with poverty or a lack of education?
Because they don't have other choice. So, street vendors choose this word just to survive. Because we all know that, can I publish?
Don't get me wrong. Before you start the business, of course, you must have a capital. You must have money ready on your part before you start any form of business, whether it's something gigantic, something huge, or as small as a street vending. No? So that means before you start street vending, you must possess money. Okay. So what's the difference between street vending here in the Philippines compared with the other countries, wherein often the street vendors in other countries are often looked up, no? And majority of them produces more money, no? And some of them becomes famous just because of street vending. And why is it in the Philippines, oftentimes street vending is associated with poverty or lack of education? You still haven't answered that question.
For you, sir, so for me, sir, I think there's a factor of the location, I guess, because
So you think? Okay, that's it.
because
Thank you. Thank you.
Studio.
Sige. Why do you think that the street vending here in the Philippines often looked down by the people or often associated with poverty?
I believe that
So you believe as well. Okay, thank you. Sige. Last one, Doc, please. Okay, so I'm gonna change the question. Okay, is the reason why people of Filipino people often look down on street vending included on your report or not? Is it included or not?
Can you repeat that?
Is the reason why Filipino people often look down on street vending included on your presentation or not? Is it included or not?
Included.
Included. So which part of your report says that?
Can you repeat the question, sir? I didn't understand.
Which part of your presentation says the reason why Filipino people looks down on street vendors? Because you keep on saying something that is not included or not clear in your presentation. That is why we're digging deeper into it.
What?
Are you okay? Do you have enough rest or sleep last night?
Last one, sir. Can you
Is the reason why Filipino people looks down or look down on street vending included on your report? Is it included on your report? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Which part of your report says that?
Here.
Cargando, authorities with the policies push good day. Please go on from the station. Huh? What is that? States that with the struggle of financial issues, they turn to selling as their last resort. But what could be the reason for that? That's my question, eh. What's the reason why Filipino people look down on the street vending? It's not even answered in that slide. Don't give me that slide. It doesn't answer my question. My answer is the reason why. So if there's none, then we don't have any problem with that. Okay, thank you for the presentation. Next group, guys.